Welcome to Talk Crafted English. Today, we'll step right into the airport with David and Nina. Nina, what's the first thing you notice when you arrive at an international airport?
Honestly, it's the busy atmosphere, people rushing, announcements echoing. It can be overwhelming, especially for beginners in English. That's why it's helpful to know basic phrases before you even step inside.
Absolutely. Even saying something simple like, "Excuse me, where is the check-in counter?" can make you feel more prepared. Did you ever have trouble finding where to start, David?
Definitely, especially on my first trip. I remember looking everywhere for signs. Learning key airport vocabulary like departures, arrivals, or information desk helped me feel more confident.
Let's zoom into the check-in process. Nina, what's the typical first question you ask at the counter?
I usually start with, "Where can I check in?" or "Which airline counter should I go to?" It's also common to hear, "May I see your passport and ticket?" from the staff.
That's a good point. If you're unsure, you can always politely ask, "Is this the correct line for flight 202? Politeness goes a long way in these interactions.
Exactly. And don't forget to use words like boarding pass, baggage, and ID. For example, "Do I need to show my ID now?" is a very practical question.
Now, let's clarify what a boarding pass actually is. David, could you explain its purpose for beginners?
Sure. A boarding pass is the paper or digital document you get after checking in. It shows your flight number, seat, and gate. Without it, you can't enter security or board the plane.
And you're often asked for your ID, like a passport or driver's license, especially for international flights. These documents are your proof of identity and ticket to travel.
Yes, and sometimes you'll hear staff say, "Can I see your boarding pass and passport, please?" It's good to keep these items ready so you don't hold up the line.
Moving on, security checks can feel intimidating. Nina, what are some common phrases you hear at security?
You'll often hear, "Please place your bags on the belt," or "Remove your shoes and belt." Staff might ask, "Do you have any liquids or electronics?"
Exactly. And if you're unsure, you can ask, "Can I keep my laptop in my bag?" Or, "Is this okay to bring through?" It's better to clarify than guess.
Right. And remember to answer politely. Saying, "No, I don't have any liquids," or "Yes, here's my laptop," shows you understand and respect the process.
Once you're through security, the next challenge is finding your gate. David, what strategies help you navigate?
I always check the large screens for my flight number and gate. If I'm lost, I ask, "Excuse me, where is gate 12?" This is a clear and direct question that staff understand.
Great advice. Announcements can be fast and hard to catch. If you miss one, it's okay to ask staff, "Could you repeat the announcement for flight 302?
Exactly, and don't be shy to double check. Missing a gate change can mean missing your flight, so confirmation is key.
Let's talk about interacting with airport staff. Nina, what's an example of a polite way to ask for help?
A good phrase is, "Excuse me, could you help me find my gate?" Or, "May I ask a question about my flight?" Adding please and thank you always makes the exchange smoother.
Absolutely. Politeness can make a big difference. If staff are busy, you might hear, "One moment, please." It's important to wait patiently and respond with, "Thank you for your help."
Yes, and if you don't understand, try saying, "Could you say that again more slowly?" Most staff will be happy to help if you ask kindly.
Now, let's practice expressing travel plans and frequency. David, how would you share your travel habits using adverbs?
I might say, "I usually travel in summer," or "I sometimes fly for business." Frequency adverbs like always, sometimes, and never help describe how often we do something.
That's right. For example, "I always arrive early at the airport," tells people about your routine. These phrases are useful in conversations with fellow travelers or staff.
And you can use them to compare. For instance, "I rarely check bags, but Nina always does." It adds detail and makes your English sound more natural.
Let's dive into gerunds, those ing words. Nina, how do you use gerunds to talk about travel?
A common example is, "I enjoy traveling," or "I'm thinking of taking a trip next month." Gerunds let you express activities you like or plan to do.
Exactly. You can also say, "I love flying, but I hate waiting in long lines." The verbs enjoy, love, and hate often come before gerunds.
and it helps you sound more fluent. Instead of saying, I like to travel, you can say, I like traveling. Both are correct, but the gerund form is very common in spoken English.
Let's put everything together in a short role play. David, imagine you and Nina have just found your gate, but you're unsure about the boarding time. How would you start the conversation?
Excuse me, is this gate 15 for flight 402 to London? Nina could reply, yes, but I think our flight leaves at 5:30. Should we double check with the staff?
That's perfect. Now, if you needed to ask staff, you might say, could you please tell us what time boarding starts for flight 402? The staff might respond, boarding begins at 5:00. Please have your boarding passes ready.
Practicing these exchanges helps you feel more confident. You'll know exactly what to say, even if you're nervous or the airport is busy.
We've covered a lot today, from check-in to gate announcements and polite questions. Nina, what's your top tip for beginners using English at airports?
Don't be afraid to ask questions and always use polite phrases. Even simple sentences like, I'm sorry, could you help me? Can make your trip much smoother.
Great advice. For our listeners, here's a practice challenge. What do you usually do when you're at the airport? Try answering out loud using frequency adverbs and gerunds.
And remember, the more you practice these phrases, the more natural they'll feel. Keep listening and repeating with us soon. You'll be ready to fly anywhere in English.